everybody, and welcome to Video Game Mania here in the Basement Show with Mr. Knast. I am Mr. Knast. Joining me tonight is Big E America.
Hey!
How's it going?
What is up?
Not much. Trying have a co-stream in the same room. So...
It's working. It sounds good. I just pulled it up on my phone. We're all good. Everything's fine. We're professionals here.
Trial and error, as I said. So...
I forgot I gotta hide this logo. Not sponsored.
That's alright. I usually have Pepsi or Coke on me, so it's all good. So we usually wait for a couple seconds to see who wants to pop in.
Everybody.
I hope so.
I gotta charge my phone.
Didn't think about that before you came over, huh?
I did bring my phone charger. So I was thinking proactively.
Well, if you move the divider to your left, there is a plug.
And if you look to your left, you will see.
You just gotta move that a little bit.
Yeah, it's all good. It's not a big deal.
Okay.
The less I'm on my phone, the better.
I gotcha. So we'll wait to see who wants to pop in, and I'll start asking you some lovely questions.
What are you talking about? We already got the people in here. We got
Sure.
4 people in here. Let's go.
Yeah, good evening, Curtis. Thank you for popping in. Colleen, hello. Good evening.
There it is.
Sam Simmons, good evening, gentlemen. Wanted to take a second from my stream to say hi and good luck. Thank you, Sam.
I'm gonna need all the luck.
Yeah.
All of it.
All of it?
All of it.
Alright, you say so.
Put it on 7.
Alright. Well, then I'll get started with these questions, though. Do you want to let people know who you are and feel free to introduce yourself?
Surely. So my name is Ed, i.e. Big America, on all platforms. I stream exclusively on Twitch. I have a podcast on Spotify as well, the Big America Gaming and Esports Show on Spotify. And then I also create content for TikTok, Facebook, and YouTube. YouTube's down at the moment, but it'll be back up and running soon. I had to make a new one, but yeah, so that's me. It's what I am, it's what I do.
Chris is saying there was a big echo. I was like, we're in the same room. That happens. Oh, you listening to enjoy yourself?
Yeah, I was listening to see how bad it is. It's not terrible, but I think I might bring the mic a little closer to me so I don't have to be as loud.
Okay.
And here we are. Thanks, Barry. But yeah, so I do this part-time, and then I'm also in the military. I'm in the Army, so I do that part-time, but also kind of full-time at the same time. I get sent away a lot. I actually just got back from a month leave, so I do that, and I'm a bartender as well. So bartender, military, streamer. That's it. What you see is what you get, peeps.
That's a busy life.
That's it. Gotta stay busy.
Yep, fair enough.
And I know Johnny through my wife, Colleen, who's in here as well. Me and him met pretty much like when me and her first started dating, right, bud?
I think so, yes.
Yeah, it was pretty quick. So that's, yeah, so, and then when he found out that I do what I do, he was like, dude, gotta have you on the show. And I'm like, dude. Yeah. Oh, can I curse? Am I allowed to curse?
I don't care.
Okay, well, I don't know how anal Facebook is with that shit.
Please, we go from a PG rating to an NC-17 real quick.
Oh, it's gonna fucking happen real fucking quick. 100%.
That's what makes it fun.
Oh, yeah. I could never do like a family-friendly or PG stream. Can't do it. Could not do it.
Can't say I blame you.
So, alright, bud, what do you got? Hit me with your questions. I am here.
If you're not streaming, where could we find you?
Oh, you're not doing the questions in order. I see you. Little tricky trickster over here. Spoiler alert, Chad. He showed me the questions beforehand, so I could prep and think of a bunch of lies. Okay, so if I'm not streaming, where can you find me? Pretty much either at work or the gym or at home watching movies, playing video games. I do play video games not like off stream too. I'm not just one of those that if I'm playing video games I'm streaming type deals. So it's I would say either the gym, work, or I'm just gone for the army. That's pretty much my life in a nutshell.
Gotcha. I mean, a busy life, that's for damn sure.
Mm-hmm.
So.
Or watching hockey.
Yeah. Yes, well, Curtis in our chat is a big Canadians fan. He is from Canada, so.
Oh, fuck yeah, bud. That's what I'm talking about.
Just don't tell him what team you like. You might get hate.
Oh, dude, I'm used to getting hate for my team regardless. I'm a Devils fan through and through. I bleed red. Fuck yeah.
That's why one thing me and Ed don't agree on. I'm a Flyers fan. He's a Devils fan, but that's okay.
We also grew up in two different parts of Jersey, so like I understand why you're a Flyers fan.
Yeah.
And then when people understand that I'm not from here, they're like, okay, it makes sense that you're a Devils fan. I'm like, yeah.
Fair enough.
And they're also the better team, so.
Anymore, yes. Especially this season.
Oh my God, breakout season this year. Anyway, before we get too off topic.
No, well, I was at the Flyers game last Wednesday, and there's more Rangers fans than Flyers fans.
Oh yeah, dude. The Rangers are having trouble even filling their seats right now. You can't even buy. I mean, their tickets are like $30, and no one's buying them. They don't want to go.
That's crazy.
No.
Got my buddy Matt in the chat. Good evening, Matt.
Good evening, sir.
What made you start streaming?
So I get asked this a lot, and it was during COVID, which I feel like such a generic answer now because that's when a lot of people started streaming because everyone was home and they had nothing to do. But I was collecting unemployment because I lost my job because of COVID, so I really just saved up, and I started it because a lot of my friends were like, dude, you have the personality for it, you have the looks, I don't, and they were like, you should just try it. Like, what do you have to lose? You have all this money that you're not, that you're not using. Get a decent setup and just try it and see what happens. And I've always been a gamer since I was little. Starting from the Dreamcast all the way up, and so I was a big gamer. I had a good personality for it, so I went and I didn't buy a crazy setup offhand. I started off with a 47-inch Toshiba TV with a Microsoft Surface laptop, and I was using my Xbox Kinect. You remember that camera? The
Yep.
Xbox. I was using that as a camera. It was pretty rough, but it worked. I started off slow, just like everybody else, but I did blow up pretty quick, and it got to the point where I was able to take the money that I was making from streaming and use it to upgrade a bunch of my stuff. So I went from streaming just from the Xbox, and then once I started to gain some traction, and I realized that I really enjoyed doing it, and I really liked it, and I enjoyed the people that I was meeting through it, I went and invested that money into a computer. And then that one computer turned into a computer with a monitor, and then two monitors, and then, okay, I want a better computer. Because the one computer, my very first computer that I used for streaming, I paid $90 for on Facebook Marketplace.
Damn.
So I was like, I used it, relatively, for, I would say about like 6 months, and then I finally got a different one. And then I just, worked my way up from there. And I think it was that traction, the very quick up and up is what kept me going, and realized that I had a passion for it.
Passion's definitely a good thing.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, that's a mouthful, so.
Yeah, I know.
But my next question would you say, are you a casual or competitive gamer?
It depends what I'm playing. So I competitively play Apex Legends. I take that game very seriously, way more seriously than I fucking should, to be honest with you. I should probably chill out on that game, but I set my bar and I set my standards pretty high with everything, and I know that I'm a really good fucking Apex player. So I want to just dominate in Apex. If I could get into some tournament, I've played in some low level tournaments on Apex. But if I could get like a solid team, I would definitely roll with it. I would definitely pursue a competitor or competition esque status for Apex. But obviously, like if I just got the new Hogwarts Legacy game, so like if I'm playing Harry Potter, I'm not going to be competitive with Harry Potter. I'm not going to be like, get over here, I'm not a cadaver.
Colleen said you just need to make sure you don't get banned.
Oh man, I can't believe she just brought that up. That is a funny subject because I've been banned on Apex more times than I have fingers and toes. Oh my god, dude. I can't keep an account for more than fucking 2 months, it seems like, on that game, dude. Because their TOS and their guidelines are so jacked up. So like, do you know what smurfing is?
No.
Okay, so let me break it down for you. So smurfing is, say you're at a really high level and you're really tired of going up against other sweats that are the same level as you. Smurfing's when you make a brand new account so that way you're going up against low level players.
Oh, so you're making a body count, a foot count.
Yeah, pretty much, yeah. So basically, the last reason, so the first reason I got banned is because I said some shit I probably shouldn't have. Not gonna lie, I got a mouth on me. Then, so I made a new account, and then they banned me for smurfing because I made a new account and I was just destroying the fucking lobbies in there. And and so I'm running into this wall where I want to keep playing the game, so I make another account, but the company thinks that I'm smurfing, and I'm not smurfing. I just want to play the game. So yeah, it's a constant struggle with EA and Respawn, mostly EA. Don't get me started on EA. I think that company's absolute dog water, and I would love for someone to buy them out because they are fucking trash.
They definitely going to have downhill overuse.
Dude, it's bad. They had their good start. They had their good start with the sports games and everything back with, Madden and PS1 and all that. Now it's time to take the torch and pass the fucking mantle because every game that they touch has gone to absolute dog water. It has. Every single game that they touch, they have like the kiss of death. The absolute kiss of death.
I could understand that.
Mm-hmm. And it's a shame because Apex was actually really good season one, and when EA came in, they absolutely ruined it. Apex was started by Respawn, and then I think it was like season 2 or 3, they brought on EA, and EA ruined everything. And basically, oh, that's actually a good idea, bro. You should mute your mic when I talk.
I did.
Okay. I'll do the same too. Thanks, Trevon. I don't want to mess that up. I'm sorry if I butchered your name. I apologize. Yeah. So like, when Respawn came in, when EA came in Apex, they ruined everything. So even though it's Respawn's game, anything that Respawn wants to do with the game, they have to get it cleared and by EA. They have to get it approved by EA. So like, they kind of have control, but not really, because it ultimately comes down to EA making the final decisions. And EA doesn't listen to their viewer base. EA only cares about making money. So, but that's a topic for a whole nother question. I will literally start ranting for 10 hours about EA because it gives me diarrhea just thinking about that company.
Matt wants to know, have you ever played Need for Speed Hot Pursuit?
So, I played the OG Need for Speeds. I haven't played them recently. I heard Hot Pursuit's really good though. I've heard nothing but good things about it. Excuse me, but no, I have not played Need for Speed excuse me, Need for Speed Hot Pursuit. Um, do I intend on getting it? Honestly, maybe. Especially if it comes out on Game Pass for Xbox or when the price starts dropping on it. I will. But with the price of games nowadays, dude, like I just can't afford to get every game that I want to play. I think like games are still 65, and I think they just went up to $70 now with the new Series XS updates. Um, so it, would I like to? Yeah. If I had more money, absolutely. But oh, you have it for the PS3 and the Switch. That's dope. I actually just gave my cousin's daughter my Switch because I wasn't playing it, and I have an Xbox, not a PS3, which is actually I think that's one of your questions, bud.
Yes, it is. It's getting a little bit farther on the list, but yes. My next question is, what was your first ever gaming console, and what was your first game you ever owned?
Oh boy. My first ever gaming console. I think it was the Nintendo Dreamcast. I think it was. I think it was the Nintendo Dreamcast, the Sega Genesis, um, and the original Nintendo. I had my grandfather had all three of those. And if I'm being honest, first video game I ever played, I'm not sure what it was. I'm gonna take a shot in the dark, but I think it was Batman Forever on. No, that's a lie. I think it was Mario. I'm pretty sure it was Super Mario Brothers on the OG Nintendo. And then I played. I think Batman Forever was my second, the one on the PlayStation or Sega. I can't remember, dude. I can remember playing it. I can remember playing it, but I can't remember like what platforms they were on. I just remember the games. But yeah, those were the OGs. And then I didn't get I didn't get into video games really until obviously Call of Duty came out for the PS2. And that's when I really started gaming. My mom always asked me, like, my mom will look at me and go, "Man, where did I go wrong?" And I always tell her, "You bought me Call of Duty. That's where you went wrong." But yeah, yeah, those were my OG games that really got me hooked because I picked them up pretty easily, which is kind of surprising because you look at kids nowadays, right, and like, kids pop out and they already know how to work a friggin' iPhone. Back then it was that all that stuff was still new. It wasn't really, kids didn't automatically know how to use that stuff. But when I started playing video games, I just took it. Like I picked it up really quickly, and it just became natural to me playing video games, and I kept that consistent. As I grew up and as I grew older. So I got very lucky in that aspect.
Matt says Super Nintendo for Mega Man, and then Colleen wrote Mario on the original Nintendo is the only the correct answer. Laugh out loud.
Facts. It also doesn't help that my wife is 9 years older than me, so she would know. She definitely should have played that first. She, babe, you grew up with Atari. All right, let's just be honest with ourselves. You grew up with Atari. Atari. I'm sorry, Atari. Well, there you go. If I'm banned, you're all banned. Fuck off. Uh, Mega Man. When did I first play Mega Man? I think Mega Man. The first time I played Mega Man was. Oh no. Actually, no. He's right. Super Nintendo. Mega Man. Yeah, I did play that. And then they started coming out with all these like remastered editions and stuff. Um, for like different consoles. But yeah.
I'm just reading Colleen's comment. And she's right about the old school Nintendo games. Friday the 13th, Nightmare on Elm Street, Ninja Turtles, Mario, all that good shit. And you were right, Batman Forever was a game on the original Nintendo system because they made the original Batman movie on Nintendo too.
Mm-hmm.
So there's plenty of games that you could go back and forth about.
Did you literally just? Whoops. Did you literally just Google that?
No, I knew.
Oh, did you know? Okay.
No, because we had the original Nintendo games a couple weeks back when I was just sitting here bullshitting by myself on the show, and I pulled up a whole list of Nintendo games, and that was on there, Batman and Batman Forever. So Batman did good. Batman Forever, sale wise, hit or miss. But my next question for you, based off your answer to the last question, would you say you're Sony, Microsoft, or now a PC gamer?
I gotta stretch.
I promise he's not constipated.
Oh my god. Fuck Sony so hard. Raw with a sandpaper condom, no lube. I hate that fucking company more than I don't even know. Like, that company is such trash. I could go again. I could rant for an hour about how I absolutely hate Sony and how anyone that supports that company is just a mindless fucking idiot. But I definitely dabble in both. I have an Xbox. I've always owned an Xbox. I stopped playing PlayStation after the PlayStation 2. That's when I stopped messing with Sony. And I've had a Wii, a Switch, and an Xbox and a computer since then. There are definitely some games that I prefer on PC than I would console. I prefer playing Apex on PC because of how honestly how good my PC is at running it and all the extra frames and graphics, and it's just so much more smooth than it is on Xbox. But like if I'm gonna play Call of Duty, I prefer to play Call of Duty on Xbox. Or like any RPG games, like I don't know if you remember like Paladins or Smite. Paladins I like on the Xbox. Smite I'll play on PC. So it really depends what game I'm playing. But I only mess with those. I really only mess with those two companies, Microsoft and any and PC. And even on PC, I'm a Steam guy, 100% through and through with PC. So yeah, it all depends on what I'm playing.
Fair enough. Matt had said, "Have you heard of the term Nintendo butt?" And then Colleen had wrote, "PlayStation 2 for all the Fatal Frame games is all that's needed for the PlayStation." Laugh out loud.
Yeah, no, the PS2 was great. I think the PS2 was the last good thing um, that Sony ever did. I think Sony should stick to making TVs and shitty Marvel movies. That's what they should stick to doing. TV and shitty Marvel movies. Um, yeah, that's it. They should really get out of the video game industry. Seriously, because they are just a bunch of petty fucking losers. That's all they are, and that's all they ever will be. Um, but yeah. Fatal Frame on the PS2 was good. I've never heard of the term Nintendo butt. I don't know what that is. I would like to know what it means. I feel like it's code for something that might get me in trouble. I like that. I like it. I'm into it. So tell me what that means. I want to know. And I see Jolly's comment. If you don't laugh at that, you don't know Ed. Most people here don't know me, so it is what it is. Good to see you, brother. Tell us how you really feel. Oh, you don't want that. You nah. No. Out of respect for Johnny and his show on Facebook, that's not the move.
Well, I'm glad you appreciate the show, but like I said, we have gotten pretty raunchy and out of control in this. If you go back and watch some of our previous shows, like I said, we'll start at a PG level and then go up to an NC-17 and a blink of an eye. So you're not really risking my show much. If anything, I'm risking my show being immature, which makes it fun. And then Matt says, sitting on your butt for a while playing Nintendo. Let's go.
I like it. By the way, those of you that are in here, is it helping when we mute each other when we talk? By the way, I want to know if that's working or not. Next question.
All right. Well, we'll find out what people say. If not, I will obviously have something to do. But I generally just start right off rated. Jolly, me and you can get along very well. Then I need you on my show more often. And Colleen says yes, that helps. So that's good to know. Okay. If you're playing a campaign mode or a story mode, do you ever play any of it offline or is it all on stream?
Again, it depends on the game. If it's a game that I know people really want to see before they buy it, I will play it because that is one of the major reasons why people do watch streams. Games are fucking expensive nowadays, and people don't want to drop the money if they don't know what they're playing. So if it's a game that's very anticipated and people are on this, and people are on the fence about buying it, dropping that $65, $70, whatever it is, I will play the campaign. What's good? Cyberpunk, when that first came out, even though it was garbage when it first came out, everybody wanted it. And everybody wanted to see what it was like, and everybody wanted to, see if it was worth, investing in. And so I played that campaign on stream. If I'm playing even Hogwarts now, I got to start streaming that because I know a lot of people want to see if Hogwarts is worth the money. And by the way, my 2 cents, 100%, it's worth the money. If you can buy it, buy it. It's a little slow in the beginning, but if you're a Harry Potter fan like I am, or even just like action adventure, RPGs, the game is just fucking incredible. They did such an amazing job with that game. Um, but so it all depends, like if I'm buying, just some random game that I want to play, what's a game that I didn't play off stream? Anthem. No one really wanted Anthem. No one was, they kind of already knew what was going on with that game. So I didn't play the campaign for Anthem on stream. The campaign for Anthem was good. The replay value and the multiplayer for that game was absolute trash. So I knew people really weren't going to tune in to watch the campaign on Anthem. But if I'm buying the new Call of Duty or like I said, Cyberpunk or any game that people are on the fence with buying, I'll definitely stream that for sure. Because I don't want people wasting their money, dude. I don't, because I know how tight money can be, and they want to see if the game's worth it.
Well, my buddy Sam, who popped in here at the very beginning, Sam Simmons, streams Hogwarts, and the graphics are out of control. Even if you're not a Harry Potter fan, you could appreciate the integrity and all that stuff that they put into that game. He's already at level 31. He's beaten it on his stream already. Now he's going back off stream and redoing all the side missions and stuff like that. And he says, out of this world. Like, I've watched a couple of his streams. If you want, you can check it out. Also, it's Jesus Freak Gaming. He's on Facebook and Twitch, and he's been streaming that a lot, and he's getting some traction off of it. Like you said, a lot of people want to watch it just based off the graphic aspect of it and how well that story is actually being told. So something to definitely look into.
I can definitely relate to that. One game that comes to mind for me is the when Zelda Breath of the Wild came out. I'm not a Zelda fan. I was never big into Zelda, but I appreciate the hell out of Breath of the Wild. I mean, just the amount of work that went into that game was absolutely incredible. And I played it. I didn't finish it, but I got a good chunk done. So yeah, I mean, if there's games that I'm not into, but I see that other people have very positive things to say about it, and the graphics, the smoothness are good, the replay value is good, the mechanics are good, the controls feel good, I can appreciate games. It's just like anything else in this world, right? Like if you're not a fan of this, artist for music, you can still appreciate them as an artist. Like you could still listen to them and be like, damn, like okay, not my genre, but you can't deny that this band's got fucking talent. Like one of my uh like Falling in Reverse, right? Like their new song Watch the World Burn is awesome and I love it, but I haven't been a fan of them at all. Like I don't like their other songs were like to me, but seeing the skill and talent that band has, like I have respect for them. And it's the same thing with video games. You can have a tremendous amount of respect for the amount of work put in a game and it still not be your cup of tea.
That's a good point of view, and it's awesome that you have that much knowledge behind it. So it makes someone like me, who's not very a competitive gamer, just more that every other day, maybe every two game, will understand the whole aspect of it. So, and it's nice that you take the time to review games, so those people that want to go out and spend the money know if it's worth buying or not. So that's a pretty awesome thing that you do. My next question would be: have you ever done a 24-hour stream? And if you haven't, would you ever?
No, I would never do 24-hour stream, and the reason is just numbers. It comes down to the cons outweigh the pros type deal in that situation. There are pros, but they're few and far in between. Um, the pros of a 24-hour stream is that you're putting yourself out there, right? And you have the ability to acquire a demographic that you normally wouldn't acquire. So like if you're streaming at 1 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, you're going to get those people where it's the same time zone, maybe California, Canada, whatever. If you're streaming later in the day, like around 1, to midnight to 1 a.m., you're going to get people from all over the world tuning in because it's a different time zone. So you have the ability to really expand your demographic in viewership when you do a 24-hour stream like that. The But that's pretty much where the pros end in that situation. The cons are you're gonna burn yourself out. You're gonna hit the 8 hour mark, which is a normal work day, and you're gonna crash, and your viewers are gonna see your energy level dip. If you can keep it up, that's great, even better for you. But most people cannot. We are not built to stay awake for 24 hours. Like so your viewers are going to see your energy drop. They're going to get less engaged with you. And at the same time, too, the people that come in at say 1 in the morning, they're not staying 24 hours. They're not staying up with you. Fuck you. Like they have no obligation to stay with you. You'll hold them for 2.5, 3 hours max. 2.5 to 3 hours max. You'll hold one viewer if you're doing really well. But so at that point, right, you are banking on new people coming in. You are now banking on the fact that as the 24-hour stream progresses, that new people are going to come in and stay, and that's a very high risk, high reward type deal. Um, the other con is, are you even making money? Like you're going to take a whole 24 hours on the fact that you might not make a dime because no one's obligated to sub to you or give you bits or stars, whatever you stream on. No one's obligated for that. You're not guaranteed X amount of money. You could go a whole 24 hours and not make a friggin' dime. So you know what I mean? Like if I was on the clock making an hourly wage of like $20 an hour, yeah, I might consider it. But nothing's guaranteed in this industry. Nothing's guaranteed. You're not guaranteed to get views. You're not guaranteed to get people in here no matter what time, and you're not guaranteed money. So for those three reasons, I'm out. That's just the nature of the beast, man. You know what I mean? That's it. And if you want some advice, if anyone is thinking of a 24-hour stream, my advice would be every 3 to 3.5 hours, have something in your bag to make it different, to do something different. The first 3 hours, let's say you do a, just chatting, or something to get the viewers engaged. My one buddy has a piñata at the back of him, and if he hits 100 bits, he'll break open the piñata or some shit, do a giveaway, like something. And then every 3 hours after that, have a goal or something to keep the viewers engaged, to do so. But that's the only recommendation that I would have if you're looking to do 24-hour stream. In my opinion, though, don't waste your energy, because that energy is going to be taken away from you for the next day or the next time you're going to start streaming, and you need that energy every time you stream. My streams go for 3 to 3.5 hours. That's it, because I run a very high level, high energy. Let's get jacked up stream. And I know when my energy is starting to dip, and I'm not letting my viewers see that. I want to keep that same level of anticipation and energy on the up and up. And as soon as I plateau, as soon as I level out, I let that level out for about a half hour, 45 minutes, and then I call it quits. That's it, because I don't want to jump the shark, as they say in the TV or movie industry, whatever. So yeah, that's all I have to say about that.
Well, your wife knows you're pretty good because she said, especially the way you stream, you go hard, and you just proved that. So, and then my buddy Jimmy Dukes is in here. He's also a streamer. He's saying that spitting facts, you're making all valid points. 12 hours is more than enough, and I agree. I mean, doing something like this, I try to go between, like I said, 90 minutes to 2 hours, because I try to keep that engagement ship going. After that, like, you can either it drops off real quick, stay steady, or you might actually pop more in. So I try to keep my shows within 90 to 2 hours, because I feel like that's where I get the most engagement in mine.
Yeah.
And then Matt wants to know what do you think about games that turn into movies?
Oh boy. I think we need different companies investing. I mean, obviously a lot of them have worked out. A lot of them have worked out. A lot of them haven't. The ones that haven't come to mind, the one that I was really disappointed was what was the one with Jake Gyllenhaal? No. Prince of Persia. Prince of Persia. That game had the potential to be a fucking awesome movie, and they took it and they spit on it and just chucked it in the river. That movie was straight dog shit. And that game was so good, dude. It had so much potential. But then you look at Mortal Kombat, for example. The new Mortal Kombat movie on HBO Max is fire. It is so good. It is so good. So, in my opinion, if you're gonna make a movie that already has a lore with a huge fan base that people want to see turn into a movie, you need to have someone who's played the game, who might even be in the industry, who works for a company that is passionate about keeping the original content of the video game and not fucking with it. Yeah, do it. And that's why I appreciate Henry Cavill so much for The Witcher. People were getting upset with him because Henry Cavill loves the Witcher, and he's like, dude, you're straying way too far from the game. And they were like, well, F you, we're gonna make this how we want to make it. And Henry Cavill's like, all right, F you back. You come on me, I come on you, and I'm leaving. That's it. That's what he did. You know what I mean? Like, if you're gonna make a movie with a video game, they have to understand that they already have a fan base, they already have a lore, and people already know what they want to see. In my opinion, it's not that fucking hard. It's not that hard. When you have a game that's been around for years and years, and it's gained traction, and it's doing real well, and it's popular, right? You already know what to do. You already know how to make the fucking movie. You just got to take the video game, write a script, and fucking make it. That's all you got to do. These companies are like, well, let's change this, let's do this, and let's. Why? Why? The video game's already popular for 5 years running. Just take the context of the game and make the fucking movie. Like, I don't. I don't understand. And not to step on your toes, John, but I see Jimmy said he wants to make Warhammer. Yeah, do it. Do it. I've never played Warhammer, but I guarantee you, because of the amount of passion that man has, that movie's gonna be fucking amazing. I'll go see it, and I've never even played Warhammer, but I guarantee you the movie's gonna be absolutely awesome because of the passion that man has for the game and how he's gonna keep to the actual criteria of the game. So yeah, that's that. I'm sorry. Let me break it down. Let me bring it down. Getting a little worked up here. Sorry. Okay, proceed.
No, I mean, I like the energy. It's awesome. I mean, yeah, you can read all the comments all you want, and Jimmy's correcting the Prince of Persia shit was terrible. Resident Evil was bad too. Matt says Street Fighter. I don't know how you feel about that one. I like the Mortal Kombat movies better than Street Fighter, but and a high energy podcast too.
I can't give my 2 cents on Street Fighter. I never saw the Street Fighter movie. I the Halo show. I wanted to bash my head through a window and just rest my neck on the shards of glass that remained. After the first episode was okay, and I was like, this has potential. And then sure as shit, that potential turned into a bag of shit. And it just went downhill. So yeah, I can't believe they screwed that up. And that's another one. Halo's been around for a decade plus. A decade plus. You already know the material. Just take the material and apply it. Stop fucking with it. Anyway, hey Johnny, do you mind if I go grab another beer?
That's fine.
All right, be right back.
Well, he's catching vibration for catching his breath. How's everyone doing tonight? I mean, as you can tell, my guest is a very high-strung individual. You can get the same energy on his Twitch stream as you did right there. I mean, that's who he is. He's a high-energy guy. He likes to interact. He likes to have fun. But you get him fired up about a passion, he's going to let you know how he feels. So I hope that everyone respects that. I mean, it's a lot to take in, sure, but what he's saying is the dead honest truth. I mean, I'll wait for him to come back down. Obviously, I have a couple more questions for him, but yeah, we'll see how it goes. I mean, hope you guys are enjoying it so far. I mean, he's probably out of breath, and he probably needs to catch his breath from being so passionate, but yeah. Hope everyone is having a good Wednesday night so far. I mean, I appreciate everyone hanging out with us for a little bit. And look, he's back. I'll let him get situated before I ask him his next question. So
you're good. I'm ready.
Okay. So the next question would be, I mean, some people don't like to really talk about this much, but what's the most well-known person you ever gamed with and your most well-known follower?
Oh boy. I have a bunch of followers that are pretty high up there that are either Twitch partnered, YouTube partnered, whatever. The Raven Armed, he's a good dude. He's Twitch partnered too. I've got who else? Trying to think. They usually pop in. I also haven't streamed in a while. Yeah, Raven. Yeah, Raven's such a good dude. He's the first person that comes to mind because he's just such an awesome fucking human being. As for gamed with, I have my crew that I game with, so I don't really play with too high of a level person. or people, whatever. When I game, I've got my squad that I run with. You know what I mean? I think I did actually game with Raven once, though. To be honest, I think we played Sea of Thieves together because he's got a whole Captain Jack Sparrow thing going on. Dude, it's absolutely insane. His stream quality is just god tier. Oh my god, yeah, when he first popped in, I don't think I've ever cried with a boner, but that's got to be the first time. I was so excited, but also happy that I cried tears of joy with a heart on. And yeah, so I would say the Raven Armed is definitely up there for both of those questions, honestly. Yeah.
And Jimmy says, with Halo, in my opinion, it was more about the world of Halo, not so much about Master Chief would be beating a dead horse if they had Master Chief. So I don't know if you want to read that comment to yourself and see what you can dissect by it.
I definitely agree. I definitely agree. Halo as a character, you have some wiggle room, with him. Just simply because we didn't know much about him. We didn't know much about his personal life or his personal things in the game. It was just I'm this soldier, point me in the direction, let's go kill some Covenant type deal. Um, so I definitely agree with that. And but yeah, the world of Halo was subpar. They had so much room to explore the world, and they didn't. Yeah, Jimmy, I agree wholeheartedly with what you're saying, man. I hear you.
Jimmy's a very chill guy. I have the pleasure of knowing him for a couple different streams. We linked up. He actually came on here. He was the first one I actually had on the show, and he was an awesome guest, and he's given some awesome insight tonight. I mean, you two would probably collaborate well together. So maybe we'll have to set that up one night and have you both on at the same time. I mean, that'd be pretty cool.
You know me, bud. I'm down. Whenever. Just give me a date and time.
All right. Now, putting Apex aside, what is the favorite game you've ever played?
Shit, that's a good question. Apex aside, it's the best game I've ever played. I think the one that I played the most that comes to mind instantly was the OG Spider-Man for the PS1. Remember that one? Um, that was really good. I played the hell out of that game. Um, yeah. As for, I mean, I don't know. And then, oh, actually, you know what? So that one's probably number two. Number one would be the Arkham Knight series, the Batman series. Those games were absolutely insane. I 100% completed all of those games. Yeah, oh my god. I remember the first one won game of the year, and I think it was like in the running the second year, and in the third year it wasn't, but it was still a good game. Yeah, those Batman games were absolutely just on a whole nother level. They don't quote me on this, but I'm like 90% sure when that first Batman game came out, it was a whole new engine for combat. They like revolutionized how you fight in a video game. It was the first time that you could hit and hit Y to melee automatically, like with the sensor and stuff like that. So that game was really revolutionary, and the open world, and it only got better and better with those games. Like there wasn't a single bad one of them. Um, so yeah, it definitely the Batman Arkham series for sure.
I'd say Arkham Asylum was one of my favorite ones to play, and that was the one that won Game of the Year. So, beating up the Joker and all that was out of control. Was great. So, my next question would be: which video game character do you feel you could most relate to?
Okay, I have a question to that question. Eh, am I allowed to actually? No, it was a video game first before it was a movie. So fuck it, it counts. Deadpool. 1000%. I could be Deadpool. You're not convincing me otherwise. Dude, like I played the original game and then I saw the movie and I'm like, dude, this is me. I mean, obviously, look, I'm not taking away from. I could never be Ryan Reynolds. That dude just made the character. He's so much more witty and so much more funny than I am. But I am just like that sarcastic asshole. That is that is Deadpool, man. I mean, like whenever I'm in like a tense situation or like I'm just going through shit, like just going through the suck, especially when I'm like deployed or some shit like that. And I'm just going through just the most harshest like shit that like people can't even fathom. I'm cracking jokes, dude. I'm cracking jokes. Like that is 100% uh my most relatable character for sure. I can imitate Ryan Reynolds as Deadpool too. It's not that good of an impression. I feel like you're hyping me up a little bit too much, babe. Uh, but yeah, I mean, like I pretty much know the first Deadpool movie word for word, man. Like it's it's bad. But yeah, I think just from my personality, and just how I am, I think yeah, definitely Deadpool.
I mean, I think she has a typo. She said "shut up." I think she meant "shut up." She said it's amazing. So why don't you share it with us? I want to hear this myself. I've never heard you do it.
Oh man, I don't know. Let me think of a line. Yeah, that's a good one. When he's like, "Whoa, pump the hate brakes, Fox and friends. I'm just surprised anyone would date you."
Look at that, ladies and gentlemen. I have Ryan Reynolds on my show. That's fucking awesome.
Oh man,
Everyone give Ed a round of applause
was
in the
not.
chat.
No, 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 no.
Look, I even got Colleen to give you one. I mean, that was pretty damn good. I mean, I thought for sure I was seeing Ryan Reynolds in my camera view. I was like, holy shit.
No, no, no. No. I tip my hat and bow down and borderline get on my knees for that man. 100% I would get on my knees for that man. No. There's there's two male celebrities that I would get on my knees for. One of them is Ryan Reynolds, the other one's Hugh Jackman. And when those two are in the new Deadpool together, I don't know what I'm gonna do. I think I'm just gonna show up to the movie theater fucking naked because I won't be able to contain myself, bro. I don't have a pair of pants. There is not a pair of pants on this planet that can hide my excitement when I see those two in the same movie together. I don't know. That's just gonna be a rush of emotions that I can't control, dude.
When is that one coming out, by the way? So I know when not to see it. And she said you'll get on your knees for Keanu, too.
That was the third. Yeah, Keanu Reeves, hands down. Hands down. Let me I don't think they have a 2024 it's set to release Deadpool 3 November 8th, 2024.
And Colleen's also saying David Grohl.
I would party with David Grohl. I wouldn't get on my knees for him, if that makes sense. Like I wouldn't do anything, sexual with Mr. Grohl. I would just like to party and have a beer with that man. You know what I mean? Same with Keanu too. I feel like I have too much respect for Keanu to be like, hey, let me take your dick. So there's, um, but like Ryan Reynolds and Hugh Jackman, I would blatantly ask them hands down, just off the bat, like, hey, listen, I have an inquiry, and just take it from there.
Well, you said November 8th, so hey, we can take Colleen as a birthday present. I mean, she might have to sit by herself and enjoy the movie because you might be too excited, but.
Yeah, she might get hit with that backsplash. You know what I mean? Backblast area not clear. It's not clear at all.
At least she has a sense of humor that she's laughing over this, so that's always good. And then my last question: if you could replace any game character, who would it be? Like, who would you replace a game character with yourself?
Who would I replace with myself, or just in general?
Well, as yourself, essentially.
Um, shit. I mean, I would love, and I mean absolutely love, to play one of the Modern Warfare characters in Call of Duty. I would love to probably be Ghost. I feel like I relate to Ghost a lot. And it's funny that I say that because, like, you look at Ghost and then you look at Deadpool and you're like, those are two very different fucking people. But people have to realize that I am a very different person when I'm home compared to when I'm deployed. When I'm deployed, I'm a totally different person. Like, it is, mission first, job first, soldiers first type deal. I kind of keep to myself unless I have an idea. I'll speak up. I say, hey, I think we should do it this way, or stuff like that. And I feel like that's how Ghost is. Ghost is he's a perfectionist in his craft. I like to think that I am as well in my job in the army, but um, yeah, so I think Ghost, if I could be Ghost, um, that would be that would be pretty cool. And if I were Ghost, I would bring some comedy, some kind of, sly little remarks, which he does in the game. If you listen and you play the campaign and listen to the dialogue, he throws some daggers in there. He throws some one-liners in there that are like, "Oh shit, okay, all right, Ghost, I see you. All right." You know what I mean? So yeah, just being able to do the badassery that Ghost does on those missions, and his whole personality or persona, I think Ghost would I would definitely like to be Ghost for sure. And I know that was your last question, but we've only been on for an hour. Let's keep this ball rolling. I know you've probably developed more questions as this has gone on, so hit me with them. I know they're there. Don't fucking lie to me. I know they're there. So hit me.
It's just fun to, like, this show is just basically meant to get to know your stream and all that, but, like, you touched on that you like sports and being a Devils fan and all of that. Like, do you have any, like, Devils hockey stories that you've never told me in person before?
Ah, go Devils. All right. I've waited 11 years of my natural born life to see this season. Fuck off. Um, but no, when it comes to sports and when it comes to the Devils, the reason why I like the Devils is because I've met a lot of them. Some of them aren't on the team anymore, like Zajac Camilleri, but I've met Severson. I met who else did I meet? I met Heeshear, and they're all just really good dudes. They're good dudes on and off the ice. They're competitive. They don't take no shit from anybody, and they have the skill to back it up. You know what I mean? Like, if they do on the rare occasion talk shit to the other team, Hughes is coming down and he's gonna fucking top shelf where Mama hides the cookies. Your goalie, 100%. Um, so that's why I really like the team. I think they're going in the right direction this year. I was very skeptical, just like many people were, with um, their new coach. His name's escaping me right now. Um, but he's shown that he could pull a team together real quick and build that camaraderie. And you can tell on the ice when the team's getting along and the team actually knows each other and they like each other and they like playing the game with each other. And the Devils definitely have that. There's a bunch of teams out there where you could tell the teams are just like they're there for a paycheck and nothing else. Arizona Coyotes, and that's, you know what I mean. Like, you can't have that in sports at all, regardless if it's hockey or not. You can't have that in sports. You need that camaraderie, and that's a huge reason why I'm a Devils fan, because of what they stand for and how they act on and off the ice. You know what I mean? Like, I've heard horror stories of how some sports teams, hockey teams, are off the ice, and I'm like, that's just no way to be, man. Like, I can't support you on the ice if you're gonna, take the skates off and then be a dickbag as soon as you go down the tunnel. That's not it. I haven't heard a bad word from anyone because I'm friends with a lot of Devils fans that have met way more people than I have, and they haven't had a bad word to say about any of the Devils, dude. Which is really nice to hear, and which is really good to hear. So, I think they're on the up and up. Fuck the Flyers, throwing it out there.
And to answer your question, Lindy Ruff is your head coach.
Yes. Yeah, that's it.
Lindy Ruff is your head coach, and my only problem with the Devils this year, you're not getting past the Boston Bruins, and that's coming from a Flyers fan. Boston's nuts.
To be fair, shout out to Letterkenny. No one's getting past the Boston Bruins. However, the Bruins are notorious for shit in the bed in the postseason. You're not convincing me otherwise. Either they make it all the way or they get booted in the first round. That's it. There is no in between with them. Either they shit the bed the first round or they're going to the cup. That's it. Do they have a solid team? Yeah. Are they going to acquire more? Yes. They just got a bunch of new trade deals and free agencies over the past couple of weeks. They're going to be a powerhouse. They're going to be a force to be reckoned with, 100%. But the same thing was said about the Capitals when they went on the playoff run, cup run for like 3 or 4 years in a row. Yeah, and look what happened. They stayed with that team and they started shitting the bed in the postseason. So am I hopeful that they're going to shit the bed? Yeah, 100%. I personally don't like Brad Marchand at all. I think he's a scumbag. I think that he literally, I'm not going to say it on stream, but yeah. And there is a Phil Kessel, another one. The only thing that Phil Kessel has is his sister's hot. That's it. I feel like most people are friends with him because they just want his sister. Whatever. She's a skilled, beautiful young lady. Can't fault him for that. But that's it. All that fat fuck does is eat hot dogs and skate up and down the ice and park himself right in front of the net and hope for a tip. That's it. So like, yeah, I don't like the Bruins. I don't want them to go any farther than they have to. But obviously, if they put in the work, if their skills provide, they deserve it. You got to give credit where credit's due. If they're pulling the skills and the talent and they're putting in the work, you can't fault them for it. You know what I mean? As long as that's how they win. If they win off technicalities or ref blown calls or stuff like that, you have no respect. You have no respect for me. And especially if you play dirty, if you're going to get into the postseason and play dirty because you want to win, that's no way to win. You're a piece of shit. You should be ashamed of yourself. That's not the sport. That's not how you play. So it's going to come down to in the postseason if they show off their actual God-given talent and skills, or if they want to take the cheap route and hope for an easy dub because they're going to play dirty or stuff like that.
Fair enough. You can see my friend Curtis is still in the chat. He's, like I said, my hockey fan in my group. He has a signed Mike Camilleri jersey with the Flames, and the Habs played a charity street hockey game with him in Calgary. That's pretty cool.
See, that's dope. Like that's what I'm talking about with like being personable off the ice. You know what I mean? Like doing stuff for the community, doing stuff for the state, doing stuff for your country. Because obviously there's multiple countries involved with the NHL. And yeah, when I hear stuff like that, it makes me feel good because that shows me that those players understand the impact that they have on our lives and what they do for us as viewers and as for fans, and they're trying to give back and show their appreciation. Like a lot of players just think they're just playing a game for a paycheck, but what they don't understand is that every time that they're on the ice and on TV, there's people that just got done with a shit day at work, and the only thing they have to look forward to is watching their team on the big screen. And those players give us that sense of relief, that sense of energy and excitement to put towards that. And it helps with a lot of people's mental health. Sports in general help with a lot of people's mental health because it's our relief, it's our escape, and it gives us something to look forward to and cheer for and feel good about. And when players realize the impact that they have on us with that. And then they do stuff like that, like playing a charity street hockey game, or just, even I know the Devils actually come to, I think it's Point Pleasant Beach. They do like a Jersey summer bash every year, and all they do is come barbecue, drink, and hang out with their fans. And it's so cool, man. And that's what makes me really like a team. And just because I say I'm a Devils fan, it doesn't mean I don't like any other teams too. A couple other teams that I do like and wish them nothing but the best. The San Jose Sharks. I do like the Sharks. Um, what's another team? I do like the Oilers. I do like the Oilers. And those two, and there's one other that's escaping me right now. But I mean that's the gist of it. That's why I like those teams for sure.
Well, I know you don't like the Flyers, but the Flyers do something similar in Seattle. It's called Trial on the Isle. They bring all the prospects down. They do like triathlon activities and stuff. They showcase their skills and then have like a big party at the end of it. And look at the NHL standings right now. Your Devils actually have the third best record in the whole entire league. They're 41, 16, and 8. And what? 15 points behind Boston. So that just shows you how dominant Boston is. If you any other like right now, the Eastern Conference has the four best teams in the whole entire league, which is crazy.
Yeah, I mean, I if we would have won against Toronto last night, I think we would have tied with Carolina for second place. Um but yeah, I mean, like the biggest thing, and it just goes to show confidence is huge. Like we still have such a young team, and it goes to show that with the proper coaching and building up that confidence with these young players speaks volumes. And showing them how to, play different styles of games. Understand that you're going to be in games where you're going to be down 3-1, but you can't let that get to you. You got to push through it and keep competing. And understand that you got to figure out different ways to score against different goalies. Like different goalies have strengths and weaknesses, just like every other player on the ice. Learning how to adapt mid game, and again, that all comes back to having that camaraderie with your team. Knowing and having the confidence in your teammate that they're going to adapt with you. Like if you're used to driving the net, but you're playing against a goalie who's very quick to close the 5-hole and can go left to right, post to post really quick, driving the net's not really going to be your go-to. But if you see that he goes down too often, right? If he's quick to go into the butterfly, and go post to post, you're gonna play that mid circle to circle game, and try to go top shelf because he's gonna be going down. So adapting like that, and building that confidence, showing the young players that they have the skills and the talent to be a good team, I think is huge. And I think the Devils have a good chance in the playoffs, Curtis. However, I'm also realistic because you have to understand too, these kids don't have playoff experience. It's a whole nother animal when you're in the playoffs. You know that, but so like when you get into the playoffs, are they still going to perform? Yes, but I do think it's going to creep in the back of their mind, like, oh shit, we're in the playoffs now. You know what I mean? And it's going to hit them. And look, if they can push through that and they can still play their game and play how they've been playing, I think they do have a really good chance of making a finals run. But if the pressure gets to them and they start second guessing themselves, that's when they're going to run into trouble.
My biggest question is okay. We had the trade deadline last week, and you have a player, a veteran goalie, in Jonathan Quick, who gets traded from the LA Kings to the Columbus Blue Jackets. But then, upon getting traded, says he doesn't want to play in Columbus and requests a trade automatically. So Columbus then trades him to the Vegas Golden Knights. Do you feel that is fair to do, or is that just being biased?
I think Quick needs to get his head out of his ass and understand that he's not the goalie he was 10 years ago, because he was when he was in his prime is when the Devils versed the Kings in the Cup final in 2012. Every year after that, he was good 2013, 2014. Ever since then, he's fallen off. He's still good. Excuse me. Don't get me wrong. He's still a great goalie, but he's not what he was. And I don't think he has the room to do that. Like who are you to go to a new team and instantly go, yeah, I don't want to be here? Like, who the fuck are you, guy? Like, you think you're just like the best goalie in the world and can say and do whatever you want? No, you're not. You are not by a long shot. Like, he needs to understand that he's lucky he even still has a fucking job. He is very lucky that he still has a job or that he's even a starter at this point, at the very least. I don't think he's a starter anymore. I really don't. And the same thing happened with the Devils. Look at Blackwood. Blackwood was the starter, but who's starting for us now? Vitek Vanacek, because he's been, performing. And Quick needs to understand, if he realizes that his performance has slipped and he actually puts the time back in to practice and get better, okay, we'll talk. But right now, he's not. He just thinks that his shit don't stink, and this is what I want. You're gonna make it happen. No. Go where they tell you. Do the best you can with that team and prove to the league that you're still an elite goaltender.
Yeah, Chris is saying yesterday their inexperiences will be a little downfall, but being young will bring a big advantage. They have lots of speed and lots of talent. And then he's a veteran goalie, but that shouldn't happen. He's on the brink of retirement. So, two extra good points from Curtis. Trying to think what else. I know. What did you think of the Super Bowl? I haven't watched you since really the Super Bowl. So,
You guys want to hear a crazy Super Bowl story about where I was during the Super Bowl? Let's get it. So I was away for almost a month for the Army. I was at something called BLC, which is a school you got to go to get promoted to sergeant. And our instructors let us go out off base for the Super Bowl. So we were like, let's get jacked up. So we went. Everyone went to a Chickies and Pete's, and let me reiterate, we went to a Chickies. I'm sorry, they didn't let us go off post. We went to a Chickies and Pete's on post, and we all drank and just had a good time. And everyone in there was going crazy. I was standing up doing the flock. I was just fucking like just going nuts in there. And I had way too much drink because we had to be up at like 4:30, 5 o'clock in the morning, and we didn't get released to go out until like 10 o'clock at night. So when we went, we were there. I was there until like 2 in the morning, I want to say. And we kept hanging out. I got like 30 minutes of sleep and woke and had to wake up for first formation. And I was fucking dead. Oh my God. The fact that I even made it to formation. No, we weren't allowed to leave base. We had to go. We were allowed. They allowed us to leave base up to 10 miles. That was the stipulation. So they did let us leave base, but if you travel more than 10 miles, you're in trouble. That was the stipulation. Obviously, we live farther than that, and that's not a big radius. Um, but yeah, no, they and what they did too, like they were if you plan to go out, they would check your freaking speedometer. Not speedometer. Your mileage thing, whatever the fuck it's called, and they and then if you said you were leaving post, they would check it when you got back. So like, yeah, and then if you left without telling them and came back and they found out, you were getting kicked out. Like they weren't playing, or they were not fucking around. They're like, we're giving you a privilege, don't abuse it, type deal. But yeah, but as for the Super Bowl itself, I think you gotta give. I mean, I'm an Eagles fan, bro. I'm an Eagles fan. You got to give props to the Chiefs. you have to give props to the Chiefs, man. They figured out our defense. They clearly did their homework. They exposed us. They found the holes in our D. You can't fault the offense. I think our offense was good. Same with Kansas City. Like it just came down to who did their homework more and who could adapt throughout the game. And Kansas City did that, man. They knew where our holes were in our defense and they exploited it. And we did not. We were not ready for a counter for it at all. So was there calls that went against us? Yeah. Was there calls that went against Kansas City? Yeah. I think the play calling with the refs was consistent. I know a lot of people were saying that, oh, well, the refs were favoring the Chiefs. One of those touchdowns, I think it was the first touchdown we got. That dude was out of bounds. We should not have gotten that touchdown, but they still counted it anyway. Like if you look at the replay, it's like, like you gotta kind of tip your hat, but you know what I mean? So like they blew calls on both sides. And as long as they're doing that and they're being consistent, I'm okay with that. If it's only going one way, we have an issue. But I think the rest were pretty consistent, and I think Kansas City just did a much better job with their homework and exploiting our D.
I had said that they had made the proper adjustments that they needed to make, but now that you say that, I think I've asked you before. I don't know if I ever have. I'm kind of curious. How the hell do you grow up a Devils fan but like the Eagles too?
So I didn't grow up a Devils fan. I didn't start getting into sports until my senior year of high school. 2012, when the Devils went for the cup, I was dating a girl at the time, and her dad was a diehard Devils fan. And I had never found a sport that I actually liked. So, when he brought me down and, was like, watch the Devils game, I'm like, all right. And then, when I finally saw how much skill and talent and hard work and the violence and the competitiveness of hockey, I was hooked instantly. I was like, this is my fucking game. And that's why hockey is still number one to me and football is number two. I don't really have. I think I just like the Eagles because I like their colors, dude. Like, I think the green and white's pretty dope. You know what I mean? But like, even so, like you know how it is with Jersey and PA. We kind of go hand in hand with teams. And I needed a team that I liked, and I remember when I watched football. The first 3 games I tried to watch the Giants and they fucking sucked. So I was like, I can't root for this team. I need to find another one. So I started watching the Eagles and they were doing pretty good. So, yeah. And then I saw, how they were acting and stuff. And this was back with McNabb. I remember watching McNabb play and I was like, like this is pretty good. But yes, I mean that's all it is. It's really just how it is with any sport. Like it doesn't matter. Like, it doesn't really matter where you grow up. Obviously, like your family has influences. Like if your dad's a diehard fan of something, like you're going to be more apt to root for that team. I get it. But like for me, because I grew up with a single mom, so and she didn't watch sports, so when we were when I was watching sports, I had more of an open mind. I wasn't pressured to like a certain team, so I think just be like watching all the teams and then being able to narrow it down to say, okay, I like this team's play style. I like this dude. I like this dude. That's what made me like the Eagles.
Now, here's a type of a geographical question for you about sports. You got the New York Jets and the New York Giants, but they play in New Jersey. Do you think they should keep the New York name, or should they be called the New Jersey Jets, New Jersey Giants?
I think New York has too many fucking sports teams as it is, and they should get rid of some. Fuck them. I don't understand why they have so many freaking sports teams, dude. For hockey, they have 3. Why does one state the size of my fucking big toe have 3 NHL teams? Why? Why? You got the Buffalo Sabres, the New York Islanders, and the Rangers. Fuck off. Like, no. One state, one team, maybe two. So yeah, do I think Jersey should? So, by the way, you do know that the New Jersey Devils are New Jersey's only professional sports team. Yeah. So like, can you throw us a freaking bone here? Like, give us another one for like Christ. New York has a team for every sport, every single one. Fucking water polo, I'm pretty sure has a New York sports team, and we get one. No, no. Why? Why? Your state's not that much bigger than us, bruh. Like, why do you think you're so entitled and so important to have like 5 sports teams per sport? No, no. I don't like that at all. I think they should share the wealth, and I think they should give us the Jersey Jets because, and honestly, not to get political or anything, but when you're talking about taxes and state tax and state revenue and stuff like that, do you know how much that would help New Jersey? Do you have any idea the amount of revenue and the amount of money New Jersey as a state would make if there was more sports teams here? When you're selling tickets and jerseys and merchandise and everything, and you can tax all of that. I mean, come on. Maybe we could get some fucking potholes fixed in this bitch. I'm serious. Like we people in New Jersey need sports teams. It's not fair that people are growing up and they want to represent their state and they have to choose another state to represent because we don't have a team. So yeah, give us the Jets, you greedy fucks.
Well, we actually did have two at one point. Then the next NBA team moved from New Jersey to Brooklyn.
Mm-hmm.
So now, say that the Jets did become the New Jersey Jets or the New Jersey Giants, would you root for those teams, or would you still migrate to Philly?
That's a good question, honestly. It all depends because, like I said before, I don't become a fan of a team just because of where I live. I become a fan of a team because I like the players. I see how they are on and off the field. I like how they play. Um, you know, their style of play, if you will. So it would depend. It like if they come over here and they don't give a shit, I'm not gonna. Why would I root for you? So like I don't look at sports as a geographical thing, like many do. Do I love New Jersey? No, I think New Jersey's the armpit of the world, but I like the Devils because of all those things, because of the camaraderie, how they play, their style of play, how they are, all that stuff. That's why I'm a fan. I'm not a fan of the Devils because I live in New Jersey. So if that team did come, if the Jets did come to Jersey or whatever, like whatever sport comes to Jersey, I'm gonna have to watch them. If I don't like how you're playing, if I don't like your attitude, why would I fucking root for you just because I live here? No.
I'm gonna piggyback off what Colleen said because she said, "Thanks for the laugh. Maybe we can get some fucking pothole fixed in this bitch. Maybe they can actually finish 295 as well with some of that tax money." So, Curtis says, "Which NHL team in the draft this year will get Connor Bernard?"
Is he the number one overall?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Well, I don't want to say the worst team in the league because everyone knows that's not how that works. I don't want to see his talent get wasted.
Don't let him get drafted by Philly. Then.
I don't think he'll get drafted by Philly because of their salary cap. Philly's so stuck in their goddamn ways that they're gonna keep the players that they can, and they're not gonna waste it on draft picks, unless they trade and start getting draft picks from trades. They're not gonna spend the money on a number one overall pick. They can't. They don't have the money. I would say so. Obviously, the worst team right now is the Coyotes, right? But if he goes to the Coyotes, one person ain't fixing that team. That team is a minor league team at best. If I would like to see Winnipeg get him. Seriously, I think Winnipeg's a solid team, and I think Winnipeg needs a breakout star like that just to kind of give the team that edge. Get those gritty goals. Bring that team together. So yeah, I think Winnipeg would actually. I think they have a chance of getting him, and I think if he does join them, he'll be that missing piece that they need because Winnipeg is literally just one person away from being a serious contender in the league.
Curtis said he agrees with you. He would do really good with Winnipeg. So you do agree on that. And he's a Canadian kid from Vancouver. Could you maybe possibly see the Vancouver Canucks making a run? I don't know how well they're doing this year, but
Um, I don't know. Um, Vancouver's kind of in the middle this season. I think I think Vancouver is still working on their buildup because they got rid of as soon as they got rid of the Sedin brothers, they had to really reevaluate things, because those were the stars of that team. But um, excuse me, I think Vancouver's too much into a rebuild phase, and they want to train and work with the players that they already have. I don't think they want to bring in anybody new um, at this time. You know what I mean? They have the players that they're trying to mold and fold, if you will. I don't think a new person right now would be the best fit for them. I think Winnipeg has a steady strategy, steady coaching staff, and a solid style of gameplay um, that Connor would fit into really easily without having to mold him or train him like that. And that's yeah, and that's where I stand.
now, so looking at the standings real quick, you got Columbus as the worst team, then Chicago, Anaheim, San Jose, Arizona, Vancouver is right now the sixth worst team in the league. Montreal, St. Louis, and then Philly. Now, given the fact that Chicago just shipped off Patrick Kane to the Rangers, could you see maybe possibly a Connor Bernard replacing Patrick Kane?
Why? Why? If you're gonna have a superstar, keep Kane. You know what I mean? Like that just doesn't make sense to me. Why would a team give up a superstar for another superstar? I mean, I understand Kane's getting old, old for the sport, I should say. But uh, I don't know. I really don't know if it's worth it for the Blackhawks to get another Connor, but they already have enough fucking elite, goal scorers over there, man. I don't. Again, you got to look long term for the Blackhawks. Like, dude, it all comes down to money, man. It all comes down to money and a person's value slash worth. Like, if do they want to invest in this kid? Because that's what it comes down to, right? Like when you draft somebody, you're investing in them. You're investing your time and money and energy into that person. I don't think the Blackhawks are going to want to invest in him. They just don't have the room for it. On that note, too, I have to pee. I'll be right back.
All right. I mean, it's definitely a debatable subject, like where he winds up going. He is definitely a true talent, for what I've been told. So it will be interesting to see with the whole draft lottery because there are some moving draft picks in the first round this year because of what happened at the trade deadline. That a team that might not you may not think would be that high in the draft has a possibility of being high in the draft. So I mean, it is up in arms still. It would be really curious to see. Listening to some oldies and doing some oldies. Good night, Jack. Thank you for tuning in tonight. Curtis says, I would love to get drafted by the Habs. First line, Connor Bernard, Nick Suzuki, and Cole Caulfield. That was a dream line. Ooh, that is a good. That is a very good line. I like that. I'll have to pull that one up for Ed when he gets back to read that one.
What are we doing?
Curtis's comment. He said he would love for him to get drafted by the Habs. First line would be Connor Bernard, Nick Suzuki, and Cole Caulfield. That would be a dream line.
Yeah, yeah, that would actually be really good for the Habs. 100%. I agree. I have nothing to say about that. You're 100% right. I love you.
Well, like I said, Curtis is a big Montreal fan, so if you want to ever talk hockey with a true hockey fan, look this man up on Facebook. He'll talk to you for hours. So, but I think I'm going to wrap the show up. It's been an hour and a half. I told Mr. Biggie I'd keep it within the 90-minute ratio. I appreciate you hopping on tonight. It's been fun. Can I tell you, Jack saved your trivia question for Friday night. I will answer it on Friday night. But born with skates on and it's in the blood. That's speaking from a true Canadian, just so you know. But Big E, thanks for hopping in and having a fun show with me. I appreciate you tuning in. It's been fun. Hopefully I can get you back on again if you would like to come back. It's up to you.
Yeah, buddy. Appreciate you having me on, bro. It's been an absolute pleasure. It's been a long time coming. As soon as you started this up, man, I wanted to come on and support you and just have fun and hang out. I know we don't get to see each other as often as we would like, that's for sure. Everyone that tuned into his show, man, appreciate you. Nice meeting all of you too. Because I don't think besides my wife, I don't think I know anybody in here. So it's a pleasure meeting everybody. Again, just my quick plug, real quick. It's Big America on all platforms. Johnny, if you could just put Big America in the chat so they know how to spell it, because it's BIGEMURICA. Yeah, I'm live. I haven't streamed in a while just because of life shit, between work and the army. It's been a crazy couple of months, but I'm gonna be back on very, very soon. I've got a couple thousand follows on each. On Twitch, we usually run between 60 to 70 to 100 viewers at a time, and we have fun. We have fun. So follow me on all those. I'm even on Spotify too. If you type in Big America on Spotify, my podcast is on Spotify. And yeah, I will. I hope to see you guys there. Like I said, we have fun. Appreciate meeting all of you, and I'll be back. This ain't the last of me. So if you don't like me, tough shit, because I'm probably gonna be back. So fuck off.
Jack wants to know if you're on Facebook as well.
I don't like, me personally, I'm on Facebook. Yeah. But I don't stream or do any content on Facebook. My content is limited to Twitch, TikTok, and Spotify. And where I post my podcast too. My podcasts are on Spotify, but I also use Anchor, but I don't really like Anchor. I usually just use Spotify. So it's really just Twitch, TikTok, and Spotify. That's it. I don't really post content anywhere else. I hate Twitter. I think Twitter's the devil. Everything's the devil with you, mama. Yeah, Twitter's the fucking devil. And yeah, so if you want to follow me on Facebook, fucking have at it, bud. I don't give a shit. My life's transparent. My life's transparent. It's Ed Luis. If you could and Instagram too. I am do it for the gram. I am on the gram. It's Big America on the gram. But for Facebook, it is Ed DeWeese. Johnny, if you remember how to spell my last name, I will be very impressed.
I can do that.
Can you? I don't know if you can. No cheating, bastard.
No, I'm not. There it goes.
Oh, fuck, you're right. Okay.
You can find him new.
But yeah, and I'm very responsive to you guys. If you if you DM me with questions or anything about the industry, whether for like especially streaming, or if you're getting into streaming or playing games or anything like that. If you need advice or anything, um, yeah, just hit me up. And oh, Johnny, I'm sorry. Can you also put my Discord in there? If you guys have Discord too, that's where my community meets, and that's where a lot of people ask questions. It is Big America hashtag 2858, because Discord has to feel like they're special or some shit and have to put a pound sign with numbers on it.
2858.
2858. But yeah. So I mean, I like to say I know what I'm talking about with this industry, with streaming and everything. Appreciate you, Curtis. Seriously, thank you so much. And are you from New Jersey, and do you know where Princeton is? I am from New Jersey, and I do know where Princeton is. I grew up in Belmar, the shore town, not the weird fucking one down here spelled with a W. I'm from the one by Neptune Asbury, the shore area. And Princeton was like 45 minutes from me when I was out there, but now I'm down here in Maple Shade, New Jersey, with my wife. So, but we're trying to hit the lottery and move to like Laguna Beach, but I'll keep you updated on that.
And then Ron Tessie is one of my other hosts from my other shows, so Ron's a big supporter, so. But I think I'm going to call it a night. I will be back this coming Friday night for Friday Night Movie Night. More than likely with Mr. Ron. We'll be doing round 2 of Cult Classics. We found a list of 400 movies. We're going to go from number 100 up to number 52 this week. That will be on Friday night. And then next week we have Sports Gladiators on Monday. Entertainment Night Tuesday. Video Game Mania again next Wednesday. I might have a different streamer on. Got to confirm that one. And then Friday Night Movie Night. So I have plenty more to come. I appreciate Mr. Big E jumping on tonight. I hope you come back. Even if you just hang out in the chat, let people know you're there. But other than that, you have anything else to say? If not, I'm going to hit the end button.
I do have one thing to say. Whoever you have on next week for Video Game Mania is not better than me. I'm just throwing that out there. They might think they are. They might throw some analytics out there like, yeah, I do that. Fuck them. Fuck them. No one's beating me. No, I set the bar way too high on this show for you, Johnny. I hope you know that. I set the fucking bar tonight, man. So, anyway, that's all I have to say about that and everything I said before. Again, I appreciate you guys, and I will definitely be back.
I hope people like his analytics. I mean, that's why he's one of my good friends and a true spoken American hero. So, all I can say is good night, and I will see you on Friday night.